Welcome to the Night School Reflections. You are over here with Tarithia. Hit the like and subscribe button because I have officially landed on Earth with my spaceship. I got the whole crew reflection, and you know how we do roll up and pull up. Let me turn my music down in my spaceship because I don't want you to miss out on a thing. Because if you didn't see the title, we are here talking about the Bacon Rebellion. No, I'm not talking about the shit you put in the pan, reflection that make your nose and shit, the hairs in your nose turn up. Not that bacon. I'm talking to this somebody else reflection, this somebody else, okay? Now, with that being said, remember everything over here is alleged. Everything over here is what I heard up the street, around the block, up the corner, and on the other side of Mars. Okay, reflection. I'm just coming over here to Earth telling you what I heard. Okay, so with that being said, none of these videos are to offend you, reflection, maybe to make you a little uncomfortable, but never to offend you. Everything over here is alleged. Remember, reflection, you never want to take what anybody say 100%. You always want to go and do your own research. Yeah, I heard what you said, T, but let me go double check. Let me, because you be rolling up and pulling up and shit. Let me double check. Let me double check behind you, and that's fine. Reflection, it's all good. Jump in with the crew because this is how we do. We the decoders, we have to double check behind each other sometime. Okay, now with that being said, let me turn my music down in the background. I have already got out my disclaimer letting everybody know this is how we do it. This is how we do, baby. Okay. Now, remember, reflection. Just because just because you hear something throughout life, throughout this journey, and you don't like the information, that doesn't make it not true. Shit, reflection. We all heard some a time or two, and we didn't like the information, but that didn't mean it wasn't true. That just means it made us a little uncomfortable. But remember, reflection. If you're always comfortable, you can't grow like that. Okay. And the purpose of being over here at the night school is to know more than what you knew yesterday. I feel like a day in the matrix, if you don't know more than what you knew yesterday, then that's a wasted day for Tarithia. Okay. Now, with that being said, reflection, we are here talking about the Bacon Rebellion. For everyone who don't know about the Bacon Rebellion, hopefully after this video, you will have a little more insight into what the Bacon Rebellion was and what the outcome of it was. Okay, reflection, because it went in for one cause, but it came out another cause. You get what I'm saying? Reflection, allegedly. Let me put my hold on one second, reflection. They trying to get me up off of earth. Let me put my drive outs up there. Everything is alleged. Okay. Now, reflection. Um, Again, we're over here talking about the Bacon Rebellion. And again, let me turn off all these phones, reflection, because you get what I'm saying. They be trying to distract me. The comments be distracting me. Okay. So now, for anyone who don't know about the Virginia Bacon Rebellion, it was actually reflection, a time where you know how we all had that cousin that we really don't fuck with them like that. You know, that brother-in-law, sister-in-law, mother-in-law. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? it, they be like, come to the family function, and we like, damn, I'm gonna come, but you know what, call gonna be there, and I really don't fuck with them like that, and I don't want to be fake, because they never stand on business. They don't stand on business. Okay, now it was these two relatives, reflection. We had Bacon and we had William. Now, William, Bacon thought William was a little soft, just a little soft. He thought he wasn't, you get what I'm saying? You know how some people will be put in a certain position, but you feel like in the inside that they really ain't even qualified to be in that position, with some shit like that, reflection. So they was kin to each other down the line, related to each other down the line, but they really didn't fuck with each other like that. Okay. Now, Bacon, reflection, he was kind of, you got that one person that always want a little bit more. You give them an inch, and damn it, they want the whole football field. I gave you 1 yard and you want the whole football field, reflection. So he was that type of motherfucker. Okay, so he went over there to his cousin, his brother-in-law, something like that, reflection. They was kin down the line, they was related and shit, but they ain't get along. So he went over there and he said, you know what? I know I got this piece of land right here, but I think I want more. The problem is, though, the part of land that I want, it's some motherfuckers on it. And I really feel like that they are causing an issue. So William was like, well, what's the issue? And he was like, shit, I need the land, and they ass is on it. That's the issue. Allegedly, that's what he said. That's what he said. So William, you get what I'm saying? He didn't have no problem with the natives. You get what I'm saying? He didn't have no problem with the Native Americans. Reflections, even though, you get what I'm saying, he had separate agendas on down the line for they ass. Nothing good for them, neither. Nothing good for them. Reflection, allegedly. But you know how a person that really don't fuck with you, but they'll deal with you. It was on some shit like that. But see, Bacon, he didn't fuck with him at all. You get what I'm saying? He didn't have no, because it was like he fucked with him. But if you in the way of what I need, then you get what I'm saying. There's nothing for me to get you on out the way. Bust him down and let him go. He was on that type of shit. Bust him down, let him go. So he went over there to William, who was over everything reflection. He was like what we would call today like the elite. You get what I'm saying? And Bacon is kind of like the plantation owner, might as well say a little land owner. Okay, he trying to expand his shit. He trying to be like Jupiter and make it more. So anyway, but you know the natives was already there, and instead of just respecting that shit, he said, "Fuck it, we finna go and just force their ass up off of it," allegedly. So he went to William. He told William the plan. William was like, "Man, fuck this shit. They ain't fucking with nobody. You get what I'm saying? You always want to go destroy shit. We ain't even got all the resources out their ass yet. And you trying to eradicate a motherfucker before I even got all my resources out of them." Allegedly, that's what he said. So next thing you know, Bacon was like, "This nigga been soft. Motherfucker been soft." I know you get what I'm saying, but you know, he ain't say nothing though. He ain't say nothing because he didn't want to cause no problems. He didn't want to cause no problems. So he closed the door with him and he went back to the plantation and he was like, "You know what? Fuck this shit. William ass been soft. Waiting on him. This shit ain't gonna never pop off my land. Shit, I ain't gonna never have no more land. I'm gonna stay on this one little yard. I ain't gonna never have the whole football field waiting on William ass, because William ain't never stood on business. He ain't never stood on business. Reflection, okay?" So next thing you know, he said, "Fuck this shit." Double back dog William reflection went and got him some slaves. Reflection, he went to all the elites, went to all the other plantation owners and said, listen, I know you got a couple of rebellious slaves on this plantation. I know you do. They ready for a good cause. Now we gonna make it. We gonna dress it up and make it real for them and make them think this cause is to benefit them too. The whole time, I just want they land. Yes, I just want them to fuck up off of this so I can build me a grocery store. Allegedly, I think he wanted to build a grocery store. But anyway, reflection. So next thing you know, he went over there to the elite and shit, and they was like, "Listen, you with that bullshit. I see clean past through it. Ain't no land in there for me. You talking about you want me to get some of my best rebellious ass slaves and send them over there to you to go to war and shit. And the whole time, what we getting out of it? You ain't finna give me no piece of no land, Bacon. Shit. What's the point?" So they told him, "Hell no, get the fuck off their doorstep." And he better be glad if he don't hurry up, they gonna call William and tell William over here fucking with the order. Yes, hit the like and subscribe, but we over here talking about Bacon. We talking about Bacon. You know, Bacon always keeping up shit. So anyway, reflection. After that, the elite told him, "Fuck them, don't knock on their door no more, else they gonna go tell William, Will I am, what the fuck he over there doing." So next thing you know, he said, "Fuck William, he been soft. Fuck y'all too. I knew y'all wasn't shit." And he went and got some more slaves. Reflection. He found his own rebellious slaves. He even found a couple of Native Americans too. Now, reflection, you get what I'm saying? Nothing is new under the sun. It's good and bad in everything. It's good and bad in every category. You know, you have some motherfuckers that you like that look like you, but you get what I'm saying? You have some motherfuckers that you don't like that look like you. Was on some shit like that. Reflection. So next thing you know, listen. Next thing you know, reflection, Bacon ass went over there and he convinced the other Native Americans, like, "Hey, listen, you know them other Native Americans on the other side of the river, the Mississippi River, they don't even fuck with y'all like that, to be honest. Yeah, they don't fuck with y'all like that. Shit, if y'all was over here had a burning bush and it went too far, reflection, they wouldn't even come put no water on you. They wouldn't even get no water out the Mississippi River and put on y'all. They don't even fuck with y'all like that. They said y'all ain't real Indians, no motherfucking way." He said that's what they was over there. That's what Bacon was saying. You know, keeping up shit. So he was over there telling them that. Reflection. So they was like, "Yeah, we been hearing something about that." They weren't loyal. So they turned on their ass. They turned on the other Native Americans. Reflection. Because he said the Native Americans, like, they slaves any motherfucking way. Slaves mentally and everything. Slaves mentally and physically. So we might as well go on ahead and get a ass to Bacon. Yes, because Bacon told him that he got good shit for him. Bacon said, "We finna go take over all this shit. We finna take over the whole world, Craig. The whole world. Yes, not just Virginia, the whole world. So next thing you know, the neighbor said, shit, that sound good. That sound good right there. If all we gotta do is get the rest of them that we don't fuck with them no way, and they be talking shit on the low, pillow talking and shit, we gonna get them up off of here. Bacon, I knew you was a good one. I knew you was. So anyway, they got up with Bacon Reflection. He got him a whole army, self-made Reflection. You gotta respect his intention. He had strong intention. So next thing you know, Reflection, they burnt that motherfucker to the ground. They went and they burnt Jamestown down, baby. Reflection, they didn't leave a brick laid. All the bricks was burnt down. Reflection, wasn't no light bulbs up, mailboxes down to the ground. Reflection, wasn't no phoenixes rising out of the ashes or shit. And it was all because of Bacon. And afterwards, Reflection, Bacon didn't even, not only did, see, it wasn't just the natives with Bacon neither. Oh, Bacon didn't discriminate. See, he knew what to do. He turned that shit on like a light switch, turn it on, turn it off type shit. Reflection. So Bacon had a couple of white, because you got to think, the white servants, they was like the poor whites and shit. Reflection, they was in with Bacon too. Shit, they all had rallied up together. They had black, white, Asian, Chinese. It didn't even matter. Reflection, they had everybody. They didn't have no Chinese and shit. But listen, they had everybody. Reflection, they grabbed everybody up. They said, we are one. Let's take this shit down. Let's take our shit back. That's what they did. Reflection, allegedly. So after they burnt that motherfucker down, the Elite said, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all motherfuckers, it's kind of powerful together. Wait a minute. So y'all think y'all are one? Y'all think y'all can just, yes, they could, Reflection. And they seen that when they all came together, Reflections, that they could cause destruction. They was not a force to be fucked with. They burnt everything down. Reflection. Didn't you hear me say one no phoenixes even rising up out the ashes? Did you hear what I said? Reflection, they feel like subscribe, but we talking about Bacon and Will.i.am. Now, Reflection, the Elite said we can't have this shit. We can't have this shit. We gotta divide and we gotta conquer. That's how you win sometimes, Reflection. We gotta divide and we have to conquer. Tell them black is better than white and white is better than black, and they don't like them and you don't like them, and the left is against the right and the right is against the left, and orange is better than purple and purple is better than orange. However you want to throw it together. Just make them not like each other. Hurry up, create something to make these folks not like each other, because if they stick together, they can take some shit over, and we can't have it. We can't have that. Make their forehead bigger. Can we do we have the technology yet to make their forehead bigger? You said no. Okay, well, we got to do something. Until we get the technology together to make their foreheads and shit bigger, Reflection, then we got to conquer, and we have to divide. And that's how we got black and white, orange, yellow, purple, and green. Yes, Tarithia gave you the short version. Hit the like and subscribe button. You are over here with Tarithia, and we are talking about the Bacon Rebellion.
It's going to be on the test. The effects, you know it, kids. So let's go giddy up for the learning as we go get her done right now. So Bacon's Rebellion is going to be in 1676, but of course we're going to start before that. Not in the founding of Jamestown. That's a different story, and certainly John Smith, and they had a lot of problems and yada, yada, yada. But after a couple of decades, things start to calm down, and there's an increase in immigration. There's lots of reasons why people want to escape Europe, escape England. They're in debt. It's overcrowded. There's religious Protestant Catholic war stuff going on. But really, this represents hope. This represents a way out. So you have people that are coming over to the Virginia colony. And there's different types of people. There's people with Momo and people without Momo. Now, in the headright system, vocabulary, I love you. In the headright system, for every ticket that you could afford, you got 50 acres of land. So if you were wealthy, you could come over and get a lot of land. But if you didn't have Momo in the headright system, you'd come over owing. You'd be an indentured servant. And that meant you had to dedicate 5 to 7 years of your life working hard labor before you got some land. So that's really the labor system. Of course, there's slavery. The first slave ship comes in 1619 in Jamestown, but the system is heavily dependent upon indentured servants, and this creates a class system, those with and those without. Now, the people that are living on the coast near Jamestown, kind of the Tidewater region, these are the elite, these are the powerful, these are the people with Momo. And then the people without Momo, these indentured servants and others that couldn't afford to live there, would get kind of the not so great land out in the west, the frontier. And these people are surrounded by Native Americans, the Amatuks and the Manchaus and the Oranaxes. And there's 5 or 6 Native American tribes that I can't pronounce that are surrounding them. So by 1670, you have some problems. You have a problem of these people that are living in the frontier feeling as though they're being ignored. They're feeling like they're being overtaxed. They're feeling like their rights aren't being watched out for. And there's other problems. There's not enough women. The women who do come over, much fewer than the men, they're going to be marrying the people that are in the Tidewater region, the elite. Why are you going to marry some guy out in the West surrounded by Native Americans with no money? So there's a lot of reasons why these frontiersmen, these people in the Virginia colony living out in the Western frontier are angry. Now you have a governor in William Berkeley, and he is firmly in the position of being in the elite. Not only is he in the elite in the sense that he's ignoring kind of what these frontier peoples want, but he also has a very big interest in the lucrative fur trade. He doesn't want to upset his relations with these Native Americans. So in a sense, he's siding with his moneyed interest rather than the people themselves. And then in 1670, the House of Burgesses, oh, I love the House of Burgesses, this first representative body in the New World, is going to strip these frontiersmen that don't own land, that aren't in the elite, that are poor, of their voting rights. So that's not necessarily going to go over very well. So there's a lot of causes, but I think the main ones are a lack of land, the Native Americans, they're upset with the elite controlling the fur trade. They feel as though now that their suffrage has been taken away, they're certainly being taxed without representation. So they're going to be angry. They're going to start gathering up, and there's going to be a rebellion. So by 1676, we're going to have our rebellion. Things are going to come to a head. And it starts with these frontiers people, the indentured servants, the poor folks, kind of garnering their energy together, a few hundred people creating their own militia to go after the Native Americans, whether or not Governor Berkeley wants it. And they're going to elect a leader in Nathaniel Bacon. Now, Nathaniel isn't really one of them. He's not an indentured servant. He ain't Poe. He ain't Poe. He's pretty rich. In fact, his wife is a cousin of the Berkeley family. Now, what was probably going on is Nathaniel wanted to be in that inner circle. He wanted to be near the reins of power, and he was rebuffed. They turned him away. So he turned to these rebels, to these militias, and they elect him as their leader. Now, it might have had something to do with that he brought a lot of brandy and booze and stuff, but nevertheless, he's going to be their leader. He was only 29 years old. So after they go over the head of Berkeley and they start attacking some of these Native American tribes, whether they were friendly or they weren't friendly, they massacred Native Americans and they start Native American attacks on the frontiers people as well. So that's going to increase. But then eventually they go to Jamestown, and there's a story where Governor Berkeley actually bears his chest to Bacon and the rebels and said, if you're going to shoot me, shoot me. And at that point, the House of Burgesses had already voted to reinstate suffrage rights and to limit some of the powers of the governor. So in a sense, they're giving in to the rebels a little bit, but by that time, it's too late because Bacon wants to go full head on against the Native Americans. He wants a commission. He turns to the House of Burgesses. He actually gets that commission, and then he goes to town. And now at this point, he's really looking for the big win. He wants to get rid of Berkeley. He wants a full rebellion. And on July 30th of 1676, they issue what's called the Declaration of the People of Virginia. And this is, in a sense, like the Declaration of Independence. They're writing a letter saying that the colonial government is corrupt, that these are elites, that they have special contracts with Native Americans, that they're unfair to the people. And they actually march on Jamestown with about 500 men. And on September 19th of 1676, they burn it to the ground. They burn down Jamestown. Berkeley flees, and it looks like this rebellion is going to work, that Bacon is going to replace the colonial governor, that he is going to overthrow the reins of power, and then he gets the poops, dysentery. And in October of 1676, he's going to poop himself to death, basically. Nathaniel Bacon's going to die on the toilet. It's a horrible death. Ugh. Nevertheless, that's really going to create chaos amongst the rebels. They're never really able to form under a new banner and continue the fight. And now forces from Europe are coming. Great Britain, England is going to protect Governor Berkeley, and they're going to take back the reins of power. So it's a failed rebellion. At the end of the day, Bacon dies of dysentery and the rebellion goes down in flames. In 1677, Governor Berkeley is going to return to Jamestown. They're going to hang 23 of the rebels. They're going to confiscate all of this land back, and they're really going to put down the fists of furies. Bacon's rebellion is a failure. But there's always results. So why don't we go take a look at the results right about now? So let's look at the effects. And I think that the biggest effect is going to be that this really is going to expose class tensions to the elite, that something needs to be done. Now, we didn't previously mention this, but Bacon was promising freedom to any blacks that joined his cause. And the idea of poor blacks and poor whites uniting is a plantation owner's biggest nightmare. So while we
They said hell to the motherfucking no. We can't have these folks. Bacon, who told you? See, it's always one in the it's one in the bunch. Didn't I tell you Reflection is always one in the bunch? They said he was, yeah, you the problem. You're the black white sheep. That's what you are, Bacon. Yes, you over here shaking up shit, coming up with new ideas and shit. Just because we told you no, we told you no today. It could have been yes tomorrow, but look at you, y'all.
White people did not exist before 1681. I'm going to break out my whiteboard for this one. In the 17th century, in the Maryland and Virginia British colonies, there were freed people of British and African descent living together, working together, and marrying each other. These people were equally disgruntled with the lack of land opportunities and wealth opportunities that they could have as compared to the elite. The social ladder was very hard to climb. These people became very disgruntled, resulting in Bacon's Rebellion. This was a rebellion that involved people of multiple national origins, including Briton and African, to go against the landholding elite. This posed a major threat to capitalism because the working class was united to overthrow the elite. The colonists decided the best way to conquer these individuals was to divide them. This is a divide and conquer strategy, and it worked. It's still working today in America. The colonists decided to create the labels of race to divide the working class. They said now there's white people who are going to be afforded more privileges and advantages for being white, although they were still at the bottom of that ladder. And there were going to be black people who were stripped of their rights. They weren't allowed to marry white people. They weren't allowed to testify against white people in court. They weren't allowed to have guns. This created a psychological divide and encouraged racism. So now those two groups that were once united are now two groups of people. We have the white working class and the black working class, and then, of course, the indentured servants and enslaved people at the bottom. Although these white people had more privileges and advantages, there's still this entire social ladder to get the same land, wealth, and opportunity as these people. But now these people are turned onto these people because they're afraid that these people will take away their opportunities. When in fact, it's these people taking away everybody's. See this today. Think about the rural white American working class. They generally are very poor people that are never going to make it to the same degree as the 1%. These people tend to be very racist and are afraid of non-white people taking their jobs. Their minds are focused on other members of the working class because they are racist and think that those people are causing the problems when it's been these people all along. This is how
She said, I'm just here telling y'all some shit. That's what she said, Reflection. I didn't even say it this time. She said they was conquering and dividing. Reflection, they said it was all a plan. It was all strategic. It was all strategy. Reflection, they said it was strategy. She said, if you want to know why shit be in the present like it is, then you have to go back to the past. Reflection, you gotta go look in them. You gotta go look back when. You gotta go open the door and look back when to see what's going on. What's going on, Reflection. So she said that it's all an illusion. She said that allegedly, Reflection, they're making people think they're making people look left when it's really right. They making them look left when it's really right and they should be looking up. Reflection, you get what I'm saying? I think that's kind of like what she trying to say, maybe. Is that what she's saying?
How did white people become white people? I'm so glad you asked. I find that most white people have no idea how they came to identify as white. And because they don't know that history, they often fundamentally misunderstand the legitimate critiques of white identity politics. White people didn't exist before the middle of the 17th century, as in the middle of the 1600s. And if that rings a bell, it should. More on that later. This isn't to say that lighter-skinned people didn't exist. Of course they did. Europe is a real place with real people who have been there for a very long time. They just didn't identify as white people. They were Englishmen, Dutch, Greek, Gaul, Scythian. Princeton history professor Dr. Nell Irvin Painter chronicles the invention of this diasporic pan-European white identity in her book, The History of White People. She demonstrates how white identity was constructed primarily as a differentiation from black identity, an identity that colonizers and human traffickers made synonymous with enslavement and inferiority. And so the myth of whiteness, moral purity, superiority, and ruling destiny was born, which is kind of ironic, since the origins of the term slave referred to Slavic folks, white people. Whiteness is and always has been a political identity, a fraternal order, a loyalty rewards program that depends entirely on all of its members agreeing to maintain them.
I'm just here trying to reflection. I'm just showing you what they said on Mars and Jupiter. They said on Mars and Jupiter, it ain't got shit to do with color. It was all an illusion. It was all illusion. Does racism exist? We're not saying that it doesn't, reflection, but what we are saying over there on Mars, Jupiter, and Venus, this is what I heard. This is what I heard. That reflection. They said, what I say, we said, they said, let me correct it, let me clean it up and make it real for you. They said, reflection, that it isn't even, but that was by design. It's not even about color. It's not even about that. Did you listen to Michael Jackson? Did you not watch his video when he said, what he say? Man in the mirror starting, then all the faces and shit started changing and it all came back to one. And then, hold on, reflection. Was Michael trying to tell us something? What does it all come together, reflection? What's going on?
Let's talk about Bacon's rebellion. Okay, first of all, Nathaniel Bacon is not based. I mainly want to talk about how this event changed how the world, and especially America, viewed race. Essentially what had happened was Nathaniel Bacon convinced the black and white working class to burn the capital of Virginia to the ground, the capital being Jamestown. He basically used propaganda against the Native Americans to justify this attack. Before this event, there was no slave laws in place, so Africans were treated like indentured servants. They were able to obtain the same freedoms as their poor white counterparts. But this event terrified the ruling class because it showed them what the working class can do when they organize. After this event, Virginia passed laws that made Africans permanently slaves, while white indentured servants.
Okay, reflection. Remember, they was remember these people came into the country and they would have to work off their debt. If they didn't come in with a little change, with a little squirrel, reflection, then they couldn't, you gotta work your shit off. Yes, you gotta get your ass out there beside John and Leanne. Put some socks or whatever the fuck you gotta do on your hand. I don't know. And get out there, reflection. That's what they told. That's what they said. And yeah, do all that. They gonna show you how. Leanne gonna show you how to do it. Go and get your ass out there. Whatever you need to put on to get out there, do your thing. But you gonna have to be out there until you work off your debt. Yes, you came from Scotland, then fuck it. You gonna have to work off your debt. And when you get done working off your debt and shit, you be there, don't fuck around and let Leanne overwork you there. She get your plot of land before you do, baby. So you get what I'm saying? They had a lot of pressure on them, reflection. They had a whole lot of pressure. Remember, these people came over here, reflection, all of them. If you didn't have no squirrel, then you didn't get no land. You had to work it off just like everybody else, okay?
Most people realize indentured servitude came before slavery, but why the change? Bacon's rebellion highlighted the fear that white indentured servants and black slaves could get together and rebel. Historian Ira Berlin explains what happens next.
So think about it like that, reflection. So what was the point of me saying that? The point of me saying it is, reflection, you got to think how Bacon was able to get all these people together. I know you was like, how he get all of them, reflection? They was both working side beside each other. They both were trying to work off their debt so that they could get their land, reflection. Okay, so it's like they're not seeing color, reflection. They seeing shit. You right beside me out here with your socks and shit on your hand. You trying to work. You get what I'm saying? He made it. He dressed it up. It was real easy for him to come in and be like, listen, y'all motherfuckers the same. Y'all both in the same predicament. What do you want to do? You want to go take over the world, Craig, or what? We gonna burn this shit down or what? Allegedly. That's what he was saying, reflection. So you can kind of see how, I know you like, why would they even get with them? And you got to think how they was thinking at that time, reflection. Okay, the indentured service wasn't no better than, you get what I'm saying? the other people that's out there working. Reflection, like, wasn't nobody no better than nobody. Shit, you got a sock on your left hand, I got one on my right. Shit, so what's the difference, Reflection? So you can see how it was real easy for him to build his own army.
Alcohol has always had many known ties to slavery, but one that's not often talked about is how it was used to control enslaved people. After a number of rebellions in South Carolina and Virginia, white Southerners had a growing fear of revolution, so they created slave codes as a way to further restrict enslaved people's daily actions, which included limiting, and in some places completely prohibiting, enslaved people's ability to purchase alcohol. But enslavers would strategically give enslaved people alcohol. They would intentionally encourage excessive drunkenness on weekends and holidays so that enslaved people couldn't plan rebellions and escapes during downtime, hosting drinking contests and other rituals enslaved people were basically forced to participate in. In fact, according to reports by Frederick Douglass,
hold on, Reflection. Now we got to make this shit make sense. Did she say they made it forbidden for them to drink, but then they forced them to drink on holidays, Reflection, so they couldn't rebel against their ass? Make this shit make sense, Reflection. If you tell somebody that they can't do something, it's gonna make them want to do it more, ain't it? I'm just saying, you got to think, Reflection, think like the program, and not the program. You got to think like that, Reflection. When you get what I'm saying, you got to think like an assassin.
Welcome to day 27 of A Push in 1 Minute Daily. Today I'll be explaining Bacon's Rebellion. In Virginia, an elite group of colonists maintained the wealth and power. Former indentured servants were only able to acquire land in the West, which left them more vulnerable to conflict with American Indians. In 1676, Nathaniel Bacon organized a colonial militia to attack American Indian tribes. However, Governor Berkeley refused to support the colonial militia. Bacon and his followers, composed of free and enslaved Africans, women, and poor whites, turned their focus to the governor and the House of Burgesses. They burned Jamestown to the ground, but shortly after, Bacon died of dysentery. Without their leader, the rebellion fell apart. However, the conflict had demonstrated deeply seated class tensions. Fears grew about the ability to control potential alliances between the diverse laboring groups in the colonies. Bacon's rebellion exposed class tensions between wealthy and poor whites. As a result, wealthy plantation owners increasingly shifted from the use of white indentured servants to enslaved Africans. Additionally, they instituted laws that created greater distinctions between the races. Join me tomorrow as I explain slavery in the British North American colonies in the next A Push in 1 Minute Daily.
Reflection. Did you hear in the other video that I played? They said that they not only their Reflection, they created laws to where you couldn't even testify on their ass anymore. If they stepped on your foot, Reflection, they ran that motherfucker over and knocked over your pinky toe. Damn it! When you go to court, you can't tell it. You can't even tell it, Reflection. They made a law where you couldn't even tell.
So if you're someone who's trying to better understand how to at least divide the people in order to protect against a unified rebellion against their concentration of wealth, I think that Bacon's Rebellion of 1676 is such a great history lesson. In this rebellion, you had white and black indentured servants and black slaves forming their own militia in order to not only attack local native tribes, but also to go after the elites of the Virginia colony. But after Bacon's death, the rebellion starts to fall apart and eventually they were defeated. But the white elites of Virginia tried to come up with a way to keep the white and black people from uniting and attacking the white elites. So we start to see the legal distinctions between white and black. They decided to grant a certain parts of the population certain privileges for their compliance with upholding the concentration of wealth, for upholding their own oppression. And right here you can see now what is interesting about this is what we normally say that slavery and freedom are opposite things, that they are diametrically opposed. But what we see here in Virginia in the late 17th century around Bacon's Rebellion is that freedom and slavery are created at the same moment. It is so
at the same damn time. Reflection. They created freedom and slavery at the same damn time. How do you do it, Reflection? How do you do it?
Have y'all ever heard of Nathaniel Bacon? Before we dive into Nathaniel Bacon, I just want to show y'all a couple images. You know, I just want to show a couple images of European slaves or indentured servants, however you want to call them. Only because my whole life I've been fed pictures of black slaves and indentured servants, feeding to the thought of me being oppressed. So I'm showing these pictures to help with the story that I'm about to tell, so you can have the full picture of what I'm about to say. Okay, just a few more, because there's nothing like watching white people pick cotton. I'm sorry. Don't judge me. All right, this is the last one, I promise. This is the last one. But it's interesting, right? These are pictures that you just don't see circulating. You know what I mean? It's very interesting. So let's get back to my boy Nathaniel Goat Chin Bacon, who was a European merchant / immigrant who came over here to start a business for himself. He was one of the original settlers of Jamestown, Virginia, right? Y'all follow me? Him and this man did not see eye to eye. This is William, I know you like my lace front, Berkeley. This was the governor of the Jamestown colony at the time. Long story short, Bacon thought that Berkeley was a bitch. That's just all I can say. He didn't like the way that he handled the relationship with the Indians. Let me give you a little deep dive into their relationship real quick. Nathaniel, I heard through the grapevines that you blatantly disobeyed my orders. Leave the natives alone. We must manipulate them into stealing all of their goods and then murdering them. But we cannot murder them all at once at the same time. It's called strategy. Well, Berkeley, my old friend, I'm here to let you know that your ways are the ways of the past. We don't do slow manipulation anymore. No. We just murder them for no reason and then say it's their fault. So yeah, that's pretty much the dynamic. Bacon wanted to go to war with the local Native Americans, or the bad Native Americans, whatever that means. He goes to Berkeley to get permission to lead his own army or group of people that's working under him. Berkeley like, boy, hell no, I already know what you're trying to do. You're trying to attack the Native Americans. Definitely not doing that. He's definitely not giving you permission to lead your own army. So what my boy Nathan do? Fuck him. We going to war anyway. My boy done went around Virginia collecting slaves and indentured servants, reaching out to all the poor people, blacks, whites, Native Americans, anybody that was willing to join his forces. He ended up building an army of up to 500 people. And keep in mind, black and white doesn't exist yet. This is 1665, a little bit after the Anthony Johnson decision when he was given his first slave. Fast forward, Bacon comes up with this plan to pull up on the Occaneechi Indians. These are the good Indians. This is the Indians that the Europeans trust, basically. He convinces them to go capture some of the local bad Indians, right? These motherfuckers, they don't know no better. This motherfucker finna give us some goods for these people that are already slaves, so we're gonna go ahead and do it, right? So the Occaneechi, they go out and they come back with some of the captured bad Indians. And yeah, Bacon killed the bad Indians, and then he turned around and killed the Occaneechi Indians. Facts. This led to the Bacon Rebellion, where his army pretty much set Jamestown on fire, like burnt that bitch to the ground. I don't like how he's looking over my shoulder like that, real creepy vibes. Once the elite, the farmers, the planters, and all these people that was trying to industrialize America, once they seen how the masses would combine, the blacks and the whites, everybody, all the slaves, they would combine, they will unite, and they'll fuck some shit up. This made them nervous. So what happens then? We just start creating laws about how people with African descent would be slaves forever, and the European indentured slaves would be blessed with land. At first, everybody was blessed with land after they were done with their servitude. Here's something to show us our gratitude for help us build the country. Well, as time progressed, only European indentured servants were granted land after they were freed. People with African descent were told that they were slaves forever, generation after generation. You're born into this shit. You feel? So technically, Bacon's such a bad man that he created freedom and slavery at the same time.
He ain't never been shit. Reflection. Yeah, I said it. Bacon ain't never been shit, even in a skillet, and throw him on 2 pieces of white bread. He still ain't shit. Reflection. How he gonna rebel? You get what I'm saying? And you heard them say he took out the rest of the slaves. Shit. Reflection. But that's what they ass get for turning on their people. Yeah, they thought they was playing checkers the whole time. Bacon ass was over there playing. They thought they was eating a salad the whole time. They was eating bacon. They was eating bacon. Reflection. What's really going on? Hit the like and subscribe button. They said I'm doing too much over here. They said I'm talking too much. I'm telling too much shit. Reflection. So I'm finna crank up this spaceship and I'm finna go. Until next time, I say.